That's for sure.
Yeah. We have a speaker, and it's Uncle Rex or Scarecrow. Uncle Daddy. It's my Uncle Daddy.
That's enough trouble.
So yeah. The chair is his.
Focus on the message, you'll be fine.
Left unattended. Alright, I'm Rex, aka Scarecrow, and I'm an addict. I got a couple disclaimers. One is I ain't feeling too hot. I'm kind of sick today. So that's one. And the second disclaimer is I don't have a fucking filter, so if that bothers you, then you're probably gonna want to plug your ears or get the Lord in the system. So, how's that? Alright, so I was told a long time ago there's no wrong way to fucking share your story because it's your story. And always start my share with when I was 3 years old. People go, oh, why so far back? Well, because I start there because for me, what happened between 3 and 6 is a big significant part of my life and my story. Something that I still deal with today, which is why I'm sick. So when I was 3 years old, my cousins got this chemistry set, and they started mixing a bunch of chemistry together, and they put it in a root beer bottle and left it out on the porch, and it was summer, and I drank it, and coming to find out the bottle was full of lye, and if you know what that is, it's corrosive acid. You pour it on a car and it'll eat a hole through the metal. And I drank about a half of that bottle before I realized, uh-oh, fuck, shit. But I was little and instantly burned my guts out. And it burned going down, burned coming back up. Short part of that story is I burned out my esophagus, I burned out half my stomach and half my intestines. And from 3 to 6, I lived at Dornbecker's, being torn apart and put back together, trying to save me. That was my first flatline, is in that hospital. And I remember it all vividly. And for me, looking back, that's where my PTSD started. And then it just, numerous things after that just accumulated my PTSD. So that's a big part of my story because I went through my life being the small guy, you know? And so, being the small guy, things tend to happen. I'm the youngest of 7, and like I said, I lived in Dornbecker's from 3 to 6. So when I come home, I need a lot of care, which was, to me, it was care, but to my brothers and sisters, it was, oh, you're a fucking spoiled little brat. You got mom's attention all the time. And numerous times I would tell them, you know, I'd gladly give it to you if you wanted it that bad. And so I had 3 older brothers and 3 older sisters who were really resentful, and they weren't the nicest fucking people. So, you know, because I went to the hospital at 3 and I got out at 6, I really didn't attach to any of my family members. It's like, hey, those are my family members. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? I came home and I didn't really attach to any of them. So they were just people that lived in the same house that I grew up with. And so there was a lot of resentment, and my older brothers were pretty mean and violent, and so there was a lot of that stuff go on. And I grew up in a house where my parents were cool. They didn't drink and use. And for the most part, they were pretty decent parents. strict. Today, most people would label that abuse. You know, I just said, you know, my mom grabbed whatever she could, and but I can honestly say that most of the beatings I took when I was a kid were a direct result of my actions. Because, well, I don't know what. I wasn't a fucking peach. And being the youngest of 7, not being a fucking peach, none of the other fucking fruits in the tree were peaches either. So my mom was pretty fed up with this peach by the time it got to my turn. Everything I ever did, people were tired. Like, I went to school, same schools my brothers and sisters went to. By the time I got to the doors, it was, oh, you're one of those fucking guys. And so it was all automatically a challenge to me. So I would do things. Here's what I learned. I learned how to get away with anything I wanted to get away with. Hence why I've never been arrested. That's not part of my story. You know, most people say, oh, I went to jail, I went to prison. I never got arrested. I was a bad criminal because, you know, good criminals go to do time. That's what I hear, you know. You ain't a good criminal unless you get busted and go to jail. Well, all my friends kept getting in trouble, but I somehow slipped through the cracks. So, like I said, I grew up in, and this is another part of my story. And, you know, I'm going to give you permission now to go ahead and laugh. So, the other part of my story is, not only am I the runt of the litter, and I'm the tiniest kid in school, I grew up with this wonderful last name. Boy named Sue. So my last name is Hello Peter. And it's not fake, it's not short, we didn't make it up. That's what I got out of I shot out of my mom's vagina with that name on my there's your tag, click, you know what I mean? So here I'm going to school. I'm the little guy, I got this name, everybody's making fun of me. What I learned from having that name is, with girls, I learned humor. With guys, I'll fucking stab you in the eyeballs. You know what I mean? So, I got picked on a little bit in school, but that was shortly lived. After a certain amount of time, they was like, ugh, stay away from that hollow beater kid. Something's wrong with that kid. And like I said, I got away with a lot. So back then there wasn't a whole lot of snitches, which is good for me. But so when I was 9, well, my grandfather was a moonshiner. So I think the first time I really put a substance in my body was my brothers gave me some moonshine out of my grandpa's woodshed, and I was out, passed out in the yard. My brothers got in trouble for giving it to me because that's not drinking shine, that's sipping shine. That's what my grandpa told him. So he beat the shit out of my brother for giving it to me. And that was the first time I got drunk. Like, I think I was 6 or 7. And I just remember laying in the yard with puke on me. And then at 9 is when I first took my first drink. By my choice. Was I addicted to substances already? I don't know. They pumped so much fucking chemicals in me in the hospital, I couldn't tell you. You know what I mean? So it's like, where does it really begin? Does it, you know, when I was a kid, it was a survival medicine, and they give it for pain. Because if you've ever burned yourself, multiply that and then put it internally. You know, I've grown up with women, oh, you don't know what pain is, you ain't had a kid. Are you fucking kidding me? Different kind of pain. Probably about the same intensity, but it's internal and burn my, you know what I mean? So, the chemicals started, I don't know. But I know by my choice, it was 9 years old. And here's what my first drink took me. So I go to my friend's house, and his dad's got a liquor cabinet. We decided to drink all his vodka and orange juice. Well, so I get really drunk. Like, barely could crawl home. And that's when I knew I thought like a criminal. Because that night when I went home, I took his bicycle with me. And then the next day when I came to, I realized, fuck, dude, you stole Kevin's bike. You can't let your friend know you stole his bike. So I took it apart, and I went around the neighborhood, and I tossed it in bushes and yards and like that, got rid of it, evidence. And then, here's where the criminality comes in. So I go to Kevin's house later that day, and he's like, dude, somebody stole my bike. I'm like, fuck, let's go find them and kick their ass. And we're walking around the neighborhood, and we're finding his bike. When in all reality, all I had to do is say, dude, I took your bike home last night. But that's not the way my brain worked. You know what I mean? Oh, fuck, I want to ruin my friendship by stealing, So that's how it worked. And I remember, this is how I got away with most of my drinking and using. When I went home that night and I was drunk, my mom would go, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I'm just sick. My guts are not feeling good. I got away with a lot because of what happened. Oh, I'm not feeling, I ate something. I'll go to bed, And that's kind of how it went. And they told my mom weird shit like, oh, he can't smoke. Don't let him smoke because, if he smokes, then it's probably going to kill him. Weird shit like that. And so I got away with smoking a lot. And when my mom would say, where's my cigarettes? I'm like, Ronnie took them. Russell took them. I saw him smoking them. Not me. I don't smoke. That's gross. It's bad for me. I'll die. I don't want to die. And that's how I was. Sorry. This is not fake. So, that situation for me is, don't get me wrong, I'm grateful I'm alive, I'm grateful I have a pulse, I'm grateful that they saved me. But to this day, I still deal with that shit. I try not to let it get me. Like today, I woke up and I'm coughing blood, and I'm like, you know what, fucking hey, I could lay here and I can just stay in my bed, or you know what? No, I got fucking shit I want to do today. I don't fucking lay here like it gets to me. And I'm not going to let it fucking ruin my life, man. I'm going to go do it, So, I started drinking at 9. I started doing other things, cross tops, smoking weed. And then one night, my brother and his friend was going cruising, and my mom had him watch me for the night. And they were going to go cruise the gut. It's Friday night. And I'm this kid, 11, 12 years old, nodding out. And they're like, dude, you can't go to sleep. We got to go cruising. And you got to come with me, so you got to drag me. So my brother says, you ever done crank? I'm like, yeah, all the time. Right? Yeah, all the time. So he said, well, do this and you'll stay awake. So I snorted a big fucking line of crank. And yeah, I stayed awake. I'm like, where are we going? Let's get in the car. Hey, where's help with that cater out there, Jordan Park? Let's go. I'm right there with you. And that was the first time in my life that I was accepted with my brother and one of them. And so we went and did that stuff. And that was at 11. Well, by the time I was 12, I found myself hanging out with older dudes. And it's the first time I stabbed myself with a needle. So here I am, 12 years old, shooting dope, and it went from there. I did every substance under the sun. That's why sometimes I introduce myself as a garbage pail, recovering garbage pail, because didn't matter. What I wanted to do was not be in reality. I wanted no fucking part of my reality. Every time I get feeling bad, feeling good, feeling sad, feeling lonely, feeling hungry, any feeling I got, I anesthetized with some substance or another. So I became numb. And I get in a lot of fights at school, get in a lot of trouble, so much trouble that I think I made it through the middle of 10th grade, And my parents at 6, so I grew up in the same house and I lived in this house for like 13 years when I was growing up. So I had all my friends in my neighborhood, Kaiser, and some of them still live there. And at 16, my mom comes home and says, "Oh, I come home from school." And my mom says, "We're gonna move," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean? We're gonna move where? Like, this is where I live. This is what I know. I can go through my neighborhood any time of day or night, and I ain't got to worry about nothing. Now you're going to move me to a place I have no clue? You know? And she says, "Well, we're moving to Roseburg because we got to get you guys away from the drugs and alcohol and the cops, or you're not going to make it." So in a matter of 3 days, our whole house was packed up, and we were headed south. And all my friends that were here, I'm like, "Dudes, I'm leaving." Like, 3 days. So I did some things to the principal and vice principal at my high school because I'm leaving. You know what I mean? Fuck them. I'm leaving. And then my friends were like, "Hey, dude, we got to go out for the night before you leave." And we went out. And then so the next day when it's time to head out of town, my dad comes out and he's like looking at the U-Haul. It's like the Beverly Hills, you know what I mean? There's a station wagon and a trailer and a U-Haul and like 7 fucking kids. A lot of shit. And my dad comes out and he goes, looks at the U-Haul and he's like, "Where'd those bikes come from?" 5 of them. I'm like, "Oh, those are going away gifts my friends give me." And my dad, this is how my dad was. He looks at me and he goes, "You better hope I don't get pulled over, and they better not be stolen bicycles when I leave town, or I'll leave you on the fucking freeway with the cops." And I'm like, "Well, just drive fast. Just get out of town." And so it's like my substance abuse and my criminality started a long time ago. And so I really never knew. Like, I didn't know. You know, I thought that was just the way it was. Violence, hatred, crime, drugs, all that other stuff that goes with it. And here's what I learned. So I started hanging out with these certain people. And when I had the fat sack in my pocket, my brothers wanted to hang out with me. Plain and simple. Unfortunately, when I was younger, like my brother got a car and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to go to the store." I'm like, "Hey, can I ride with you?" And he's like, gas money?" "I ain't got no gas money. I'm just going to ride with you. You're going to the same place you're going." He's like, "You ain't got no gas money. You ain't riding with me. Get the fuck out." So later, when I had the sack, they'd be like, "Hey, you want to hook me up?" I'm like, "Got any money?" "No, I ain't got no money. Just hook me up and I'll pay you back later." "Hey, you ain't got no money. Get the fuck out." You know what I mean? That's how it was. So what happened was my parents moved me to Roseburg. Here I am, 16, between 16 and 17. And they didn't get me away from the drugs. Because, of course, in Roseburg, if you haven't been there, it's all corn-fed plowboys, sports kids, and my crew. Not very many of my crew, because at 16 and 17, I'm long-haired punk rock, fucking gutter punk, this, fuck the system, you know, I'll kill everybody and burn the church, you know, that's anarchy, laissez-faire, you know, power to the people, fuck the government. Still got some of that. Not quite as much. So I find this group of dudes, there's like 4 of them, and they're just like me. Well, come to find out, my best friend in the group's brother has these friends that live in the mountains. They got these barns. They got these little places that they're doing this chemistry stuff in. And it was an endless supply of death for me. Didn't have to pay for it. I just had to do some weird shit like put these infrared goggles on and sit at the end of the driveway, and if anybody comes, just shoot. At 17, I was like, cool. Let's go. You know what I mean? So what happened for me was I got so involved in that. I tried to go into school, and I was upstairs in the school, and what happened was this teacher came by. There was nobody in the locker, and at Roseburg, all the lockers go like this upstairs, and then there's these little stairs go down the gym. Well, this guy come by and he kicks the garbage can and he heads down the stairs. Well, there's nobody around. I'm high as fucking kite. I'm like, what the fuck? His teacher comes out and he says, "Did you kick that garbage can over?" I said, "No." He said, "You're the only one in the hallway, so I think you did. You should probably pick that up." I said, "Why don't you fuck off and go pick it up yourself?" And so I closed my locker and went down those stairs. Halfway down the stairs, he grabs a hold of my hair. Well, the scuffle happened. He went down the stairs, broke his arm and his collarbone, and they dragged me in the office. And they told me, "I'll give you two choices. You could either go to jail, juvie, or you could just drop out of school." And I was like, I don't want to be here anyways. But when I dropped out of school, I hung out under the underpass by the cemetery because I knew I had to ride the bus home. It's fucking 12 miles to my house. I'm not hitchhiking the freeway or walking across the mountain. So I was thinking to myself the whole time, fuck, I gotta get on the bus. I'm gonna go home. Now, I wasn't worried about my mom. I could handle that. But if my dad came home knowing that what I did and knowing that I'm no longer going to be going to school, they're not going to have any money because I was the last one on the totem pole that they were catching money from the government for. Now they can't pay the rent. This kind of shit. So I go home, I get off the bus, and I walk upstairs, and I take my blankets, fold them over, put my pillow, and I roll it up, tie it with fucking shoestrings, grab the pillow, and I'm headed out the front door, and my mom says, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm fucking leaving, not coming back. Shit happened today. It's not a good day. I'm not coming back." My mom says, "You'll be here before dinner." Well, 3 years later, I still wasn't there. And I was engulfed in my disease, and so what I went and did was I went to the streets. We had stole a bunch of lumber from the Roseburg lumber, and I made this fucking killer pushed out house in the bushes, and me and my friends just basically shot the open candlelight all fucking time. The only time we left is to go steal shit. And so my disease took off in Roseburg as opposed to getting away from it. And I used and I used and I used, and some shit went down, and I thought, I gotta get out of here. Maybe I should go back to Salem. Well, I came back to Salem thinking everything will be cool, and still getting high. And my oldest brother took me in to help me out, got me a job, let me sleep in my car in the parking lot in his driveway. And one day I was under the car working on it, and heard this girl's voice, and I like, huh? "Oh, hey, how you doing?" "How you doing?" And short of the story is, she ended up being the mother of my 2 children, and that was all going good. But you know what? My use destroyed a marriage. We used together all kinds of stuff, but the final straw of that marriage was pretty simple. I'd been eating acid for like 5 days, and she's like, "Let's go home." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go home." And I'm trying to go to sleep, and I'm trying to ignore her, trying to do my thing. And she mentions to me, because she ate some acid, she was like, "Oh, you look like Freddy Krueger." And I was like, "Clink, what? Freddy Krueger? Oh, it must be Freddy Krueger." So I get a knife and I chase her around the house. And I chased her into my sister's house next door. And, well, she didn't want to live with Freddy Krueger. So she took my kids and see ya. And what did I do? I did what I normally do. I just grabbed my backpack and went on a run. Now, all kinds of shit happened in there. And the main thing that happened to me was I met this Mexican dude who was part of a bigger family than most people. And so I had this endless supply of cocaine off the block. And, well, I needed to keep him in my pocket. So I introduced him to my sister. My sister had kids with him. and it was free. All I wanted, whenever. I was a guinea pig. He didn't use, he just made money. And me, I'm the tester. So the last 2.5 years of my disease was almost pure cocaine all day long, as much as I wanted for 2.5 years. I didn't get in trouble with the cops. What happened for me was I lost my mind. You know. Thank God. You know, when I came in the rooms, my first flatline happened then. Down in Roseburg, I got shot. Wrong place at the wrong time. Fucking with the wrong people. And if I wouldn't have moved to the left, I probably would have been get shot and not be here. And then I had a couple overdoses and I flatlined. And so when I came into the rooms, with that backpack, one pair of pants, one shirt, and a handgun, and a whole bunch of bullets. And then I had this little shaving kit, had all kinds of stuff in it. I call it the death bag because I was using it to try to take myself out. I'm like, fuck God, why won't you let me go? You know, I didn't want to be here. It's like, I didn't want to be here. I fucking hated you people. I hated life. I hated fucking humans. Fuck this fucking place, you know. I didn't want to be here. It's not my fault I'm here. Everything I ever did, I just like, it ain't my fault. My mom and dad fucked, and here I am. Now I'm stuck. That's how my brain worked. I didn't want to fucking be here. And, well, you know, what I'm grateful for is I have a higher power I don't understand that apparently wanted me here for a reason. And the only thing that I could say to you that I've done worth the shit in my life is become a sperm donor to 2 of my daughters. And that's probably the best thing I got left when this is over. That's probably the best thing. And unfortunately, they don't speak to me, but whatever, you know. Sometimes, this is what I learned in my life. Sometimes, you know what, when you love somebody, you don't get to be a part of their life. It's that simple, you know. And so in my first year of recovery, I came in here, I was talking to invisible people. I came in here 94 pounds, soaking wet. I'd been up for 38 days. My eyes were bleeding because I had lack of sleep and broken blood vessels. I was talking to invisible people, and I had an invisible friend. And if I sat in a meeting and you sat in the chair next to me, I would punch you in the fucking teeth for disrespecting my invisible friend. And everybody say, Rex, there's nobody there. Fuck you! You know? Okay, just keep coming back. Hey, don't use, come to the meeting. And that's all I did. I just didn't use, and I showed up to the meetings. And the weirdest thing, you people are fucking, something's wrong with you. Because here's the thing. They kept telling me to come back. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Everybody tells me not to come back. Now you're telling me to come back? Even though I'm this person? And what saved me in the beginning was a group of dudes in the basement of the S-West Club who would do shit like, I'd start talking about weird shit and they'd slide a book in front of me. Should probably work some steps. When I got here, I couldn't read the book. Like, any book I opened up, those words meant nothing. It was just, it was ants. If you've ever stayed up a long time and started seeing shit, imagine 38 days. I was not fucking well. It's not fucking well. And what got me to come to my first meeting was I was tired. I didn't want to do it anymore. And I went to an outhouse 3 o'clock in the morning, and I loaded up a syringe full of liquid death, as thick as I possibly could, and I pulled out my gun, and I made sure it was full of slugs. And I was contemplating which one I was going to use to blow my brains out with, in a fucking toilet on a construction site. And I don't know if I believed in God, because I just looked at everything that happened. I'm like, what the fuck is God? But I did that thing that we do when our fucking shit is falling apart. I prayed. I mean, not really prayed. I said, this is what I said. I said, if there's a fucking God, here's the deal. You better give me a goddamn answer and tell me what I need to do. I'm going to blow my brains out with one of these fucking things. Tell it to me now. So here I am, delusional, hallucinating, hearing all kinds of voices, seeing shit. Everything went completely blank. Everything went completely clear. And in a loud voice it said, just stop hurting yourself. Nobody said that. Nobody's ever said that. Nobody ever expected anything from me except for a phone call, claiming the body. And I said, how do I do that? And from that point, if you ever had a blackout, that's kind of what it was like. From that point to the time I walked into that, I don't even know how I got there. I don't even know how I found the place. When I walked in the SOS Club, I was like, in a blackout. And I walked in the club and I looked and saw people and I was like, oh, fuck no. And I turned around and went right back out in the alley. Well, I got to the alley and I thought, well, here's your choice. You can either continue to walk out of here and die, or you can go back in there and see if somebody can help you. And I thought, fuck, I need to go back in there. I really want to go back in there. But I got no courage. So I nestled down behind this garbage can, pulled out Mr. Liquid Death, and was like, did a little bit. So, you know, all the dragons and the... I don't know if you know what that means. I walked back in the meeting and went upstairs, and I sit in the meeting, and I'm like, oh, they won't even notice. You know, I'm fucking... My hair's all sticking up. I'm just like black eyes, you know. And I heard him say something in the front at the beginning of the meeting. They said, if you've used today, please refrain from sharing and talk to somebody after the meeting. So the whole time I'm sitting in this fucking meeting, I'm going, what the fuck? I'm not supposed to talk to anybody? You know? And they're all looking at me. And I'm just like, you know, the chicken. Where most people see those people on the street and they laugh. I don't. I don't laugh. I know that guy. You know what I mean? When they talk to themselves walking down the street, I know that guy. When you get on the bus and nobody wants to sit next to you, I know that guy. When somebody grabs their fucking kid and bolts across the street, I know that guy. You know? And I remember one time in my youth, Christmas time, and I'm out in the middle of the night. And if you've been a tweaker, you know what I'm talking about. They got the lights on in the house, you're in the dark outside, they can't see you, but you can see them. And I watched this family have this Christmas, and I thought, fuck, that looks cool. I better go get some dope, because I'm not going to feel that. So when I got to this meeting, I'm gacked out of my mind. And at the end of the meeting, the chairperson said, has anybody got a burning desire? And I just basically let him have it. I said, look, my name's Rex, and if I leave this meeting, I'm going to go back out to the dumpster, and I'm going to pull my gun in my pocket, and I'm going to put my brains all over the fucking wall, and you people can clean it up. If somebody doesn't help me, that's my solution. And some lady visited and grabbed a couple guys, and that's where my trip went. They took me to detox. That wasn't good. I didn't sleep at all in detox. And I said to the guy at detox, and he's still clean and sober. I think he works counseling still. And I said to him, I said, if I leave here, I'm dead. My friend decided he was going with me. When I told the guy, if I leave here, I'm dead, my friend said, dude, I'm out. I'm like, I ain't going. Because I knew if I walked back out that door, I was fucking done. Done. And he left. And they sent me to treatment. So they go, hey, we're going to send you to treatment. We got this residential treatment for you. And it ain't going to cost you nothing. We got it taken care of. You're covered. I'm like, cool, where am I going then? You know what they said?
Roseburg.
We're going to send you to Roseburg. Place called Crossroads. I said, are you fucking kidding me? I told my counselor, are you fucking kidding me? You're sending me to Helltown. Like, that's death for me. He said, well, we'll see how willing you are. So I get to Roseburg to this treatment center, and I walk in, and remind you, long hair. I never pulled it back then. It was always in my face because I didn't want you to fucking see me. I go into this treatment center. I'm all in black. And they're going through my shit, and then as you walk in, it was in the bottom part of a nursing home, and the treatment center was under an Alzheimer's ward. So I walk in, there's the office, there's the kitchen, there's the day room, and I hear this voice from the day room go, "Holy fucking shit. That motherfucker has to sleep next to me." Like, it was the only bed. I look over and I go, "Nice to meet ya." And I'm like, "That, nice to meet ya." He's like, "Oh." That was a 60-day program. I was nowhere near being ready to leave that fucking program. So they sent me on a bus to Rogue Recovery down in Grants Pass for another 90 days. Because I knew there's no way I could go back to the streets. So when I left that program to come back here, here's a lesson. I'm not always a positive lesson, but this is a lesson nonetheless. So they tell me all this stuff not to do in order to stay clean. And I did everything they told me not to do. I got a relationship with a normal girl for a minute. I manipulated her, got anything I wanted. And from 92 to 94, I was okay because I did the LSD, marijuana, mushroom, alcohol maintenance program. I didn't use coke. I didn't use crank. I didn't shoot dope. So I was okay. Well, December 23rd, I decided to come over to AA and see about how it is, you know. And I went to this dance. And one of my nephews had told me, "There's a bottle of tequila, we're having this party, but we bought you a bottle of tequila because we know you don't like beer and you drink it." But you know. I'm like, "All right, cool, whatever. I don't need it. I'm gonna go get sober. I'm gonna go get clean. I'm gonna do it for real this time." So I go back to this dance, and shitty music. It's a bunch of old people. They don't know how to dance. And ain't nothing attractive. And I was like, this or the tequila? Okay, bye. I'm out. I go to my nephew's house, and he says, "Hey, there it is. There's a bottle for you. Sitting on the coffee table. Jose Cuervo. You are a friend of mine." You know? And I grabbed the fucking bottle, and the way I felt at that time was I did not give a fuck. And I took the cap and I threw it across the room and I went behind the entertainment center and I said, "Oh, lost the cap, guess got to drink it all." And I started chugging. And I only remember half that bottle. And then I came to the next day in the courtyard downstairs. Jose Cuervo puke all over my face. And I go and I ask him, I said, "Hey, what the fuck happened last night?" He's like, "Oh, dude, you don't even want to know." I said, no, you need to tell me the truth." He said, "Well, come upstairs." Well, he had this cool ass camcorder thing. So he takes a little VHS out, this camcorder, and sticks it in there, pushes play. And a couple seconds of watching that, I pushed eject, I pull it out, and I go down the courtyard, and I pour gas on it, and I light it on fire. And I went straight back to AA, and I said, no matter fucking what, whether I like it or not, whether I think these people fucking suck, whether they dance like shit, whether they're old or they're not old, I'm fucking never gonna be that person again. And I stayed clean and sober since then. And the first step is the one step. If you want this to work, the first step is the one step you have to be 100%. That's gotta be it. I got to be completely powerless. I got to believe that I'm completely powerless and my life is totally unmanageable. And you know what? Any one of my little stories that I had when I was out there doing it, or even in here, will tell you, yeah, that's fucking unmanageability. So I was completely convinced of the first step before I ever got here. But when I read it, I was like, what? That's it? Fuck you. Just because you're paranoid don't mean they're not watching you. Because they are. And then the second step, came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity. That one I had a hard time with. Because that sanity part. I was like, is this guy ever going to stop talking to me? Is he going to stop following me around? You know? Am I ever going to think straight? I can honestly say I'm not thoroughly convinced about that step. I can't say that I'm far better off than I was. You know, and I say to people sometimes, I'm not crazy. And they'll be like, oh yeah, you're crazy. I'm like, no, you should have saw me 23 years ago. That was insanity. Because here's the thing about insane people. Insane people don't know they're insane. So today, I know for a fact, I'm not crazy. So, and then the third. So that power greater than myself that restored me to this much sanity so far, it's accumulation of things. It's the steps of my filtration system. It takes all this shit inside of me that I fucking want to murder me for. It makes my fucking skin fit right. And it makes me not want to die. And so that's power greater than myself. When I'm fucked up and K-Fuck radio is playing loud and just loud as fuck in my head, and I can't do anything but just show up to a meeting, and I come to a meeting and somebody says something, or I just feel comfortable being somewhere with humans, and I leave the meeting and I feel better, that's a power greater than myself. Restored me to sanity. Now, I don't understand what my higher power is, and I don't want to understand what my higher power is, because if I understand what my higher power is, I don't fucking need it. If I understand this program completely, I don't fucking need it. I don't need it. I've got to figure it out. And here's what I learned. I've seen a whole bunch of people come in these rooms and go back out and use, or go back out and die. People who got this program, who know how to do. I know how to do this, and I don't need nobody's help. I got it you know what I mean? Those people I've saw die. But you know who I've seen stay clean and sober? The people who stayed humble and go, you know what? Here I am today at 23 years, and I don't fucking have a clue. I don't have a fucking clue. Any more of a clue than any other you guys. Because here's what I know about this thing. My disease. My disease has absolutely nothing to do with the fucking substances I put in my fucking trash body. Had nothing to do with it. That was my solution to the problem. The problem lives between my ears. It lives in my head. It's the way I think. It's how I respond to my thinking. That's the fucked up part. You know? And does my brain work completely good all the time? Do it? No. I got a long way to go, but you know what? Until God says, hey, it's time to come home, it's still game on. Am I perfect? No. Sometimes slowly, sometimes quickly we recover. Well, you know what? Mine's really fucking slow. And I'm not in competition with anybody, and I'm not in a race. When I get up in the morning, if I feel better than I did yesterday, if I do something different today than I did yesterday, then I'm winning. When I was loaded, two things I hated most, two things I hated the fucking very most. God, fuck God. And my pulse, fuck that too. The two most valued possessions I have today is a higher power I don't understand and my pulse. Everything else is a bonus. My skin fits right most days. Some days I have those days where my fucking skin don't fit right and K-Fuck radio's playing. And you know what? The best thing I can do is just say, I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to be around nobody. Because I know the minute my mouth opens up, you're going to hate me. You're going to, you know what I mean? I'm going to say something or do something and it's going to make you mad. And then I'm fucking over there. I might as well just lock myself in the room and listen, man. Here's another higher power for me. You may not understand this, but it works for me. Pink Floyd always brings me back to reality. You know, music. Certain kinds of music, certain songs make me feel like my skin fits because they're talking to me. You know, Master of Puppets, fuck. I heard that fucking song when it first came out. And it got me thinking, ooh, maybe I should do something different. Well, maybe tomorrow. You know? Buster! You know? And I'm not perfect. By far, not perfect. And am I any closer to anybody else to getting loaded? Yes. I'm exactly the same fucking way. You know what? 23 years of being clean and sober. Guess what? It's only one fucking thing away for me to get loaded. And you know what it is? Choice. I make the fucking choice to get loaded. That's the only thing keeping me from being loaded. If I get loaded, you know I made the choice. And if I get loaded, I made the choice not only to get loaded, but I made the choice to get fucking dead. Because that's how it is for me. It's black or white. It's either I'm clean and sober. As I said it, clean and sober. Right about that fucking air. It's clean! And fuck you guys and your stupid shit. My brain has got so much more shit to fucking deal with than to argue about clean and sober. NAAA, fuck it. You know what? I have a disease that wants to kill me. I'm not going to limit my recovery. I'm bisexual. So, there it is.
Bisexual.
Anyways, see, I don't even know where I went. When I share making a choice, it's about making a choice. And if I make a choice, you know what? You never know where your messages come from. Like, the biggest ones for me is first, to stop hurting yourself. Then an old timer who has graduated the program, which means he died clean and sober, said to me, it's okay to think the way you do, just don't act on it. That's a powerful message for me. Another one is, it came from Shawshank Redemption. You can get busy living and you can get busy dying. One of the fucking two, make your choice. It's either black or white. You're either living or you're dead. It's that simple for me as an addict. Now anything I jumble up in the middle is just fucking confusion. Do I read the book every day? No. But when I need to and my ass is dragging and I ain't got enough oomph inside of me to call anybody because, well, my disease is alive and well. Fuck these humans. Read the book, read the book, read the book, you know. It works. And here's, if it's not broken, don't break it. Right? If it's working for 23 years, by all means, I should not be here. Here's what this recovery thing for me is an abnormal way of living, and it's every fucking day. Am I gonna do it perfect? No, I'm not, because this program's fucking weird. It's weird. Like, it tells me when somebody wrongs me, pray that they get everything you want. What? I couldn't grasp that concept for a long fucking time. Pray that they get everything. The bitch just fucking, you know what I mean? The motherfucker just did this. That's not how you deal with it. You grab the fucking zip ties, you grab a roll of duct tape, you fucking put them in the trunk of the car, you go to the woods, you make a fucking conversation, and you convince them not to do that again. And it worked, because I got away with it, you know what I mean? They were convinced, oh fuck it, they didn't even come near the neighborhood. Fuck, that guy's over there, we're out of here. Hi, Henry. So, I did that the first time. Okay, God. I pray that they get everything I want. You know what? They took everything I wanted. They did. Well, congratulations. It works. This fucking praying thing. Now, I prayed for patience and tolerance when I was first clean. I prayed for patience and tolerance. 2.5 fucking years, God put me on the bus. If you ever rode the bus, you're going to practice patience and tolerance. And I'm like, okay, God, I'm done with that. Can we just take it away? You know that thing where be careful what you pray for, you might get what you want, and then you have to pray super fucking hard to get rid of it? And I also learned this. Sometimes God removes things from your life because it's not right for you. It's not right for you. I call that divine intervention. My second divorce happened, and you know what? Divine intervention. Was not right for me. Bye, Felicia. You know what I mean? Did it hurt? Fuck yeah, it hurt. Be betrayed by people that you fucking trust and love. That's the thing. I came in here, I didn't trust nobody, and I said to myself, I'll never trust motherfuckers. Fuck these people. And then what happened was I started trusting people. So remember where you're at. This is another lesson. Remember where you're at. Remember who we are. Not everybody's trustworthy. So I opened up myself and I trusted these people, and they fucking violated it. They shit all over it. And still to this day, here's the honest God truth. Still to this day, I resent them. And still to this day, I don't want to talk to them. I ain't got a fucking word to say to them. And you know, unfortunately, or whatever, maybe I do this thing, this rafting, this NA rafting, and every fucking year I go to NA rafting, my ex-wife is there. Every fucking year. And you know what I say to her? Not a goddamn thing. Stay the fuck on that side of the camp. I don't have to communicate. You don't have to like everybody in these rooms. Now she says, oh, my ass is fucked. Well, go talk to the fucking girl. Get the fuck out of here. I ain't got nothing for you. Now, everything that's happened in my life is a direct result of my own behavior. There is a 3-year period in my childhood, which is also a trigger is also accumulation of, like, they say PTSD happens because of traumas, and like I literally seen my friend blow his face off in a shooting gallery. Just he had enough right next to me. I'm like, what the fuck? But for 3 years, I was sexually abused. You know, and I didn't share that for a long, long time. And so you know, people say, "Oh, you've had a part." This is what they used to tell me. It fucking pissed me off. Oh, you had a part in everything that's ever happened in your life. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm not owning it. I'll own everything, but not that. Not that. And you know, I'll say it right out. If you're a fucking pedophile or you're a sex offender, don't talk to me. Because if I know you are, I'll fucking killing you. Maybe that's not recovery, but fuck you. Because you know what? Today I'm not a fucking victim. I'll fucking eat your eyeballs, motherfucker. You know? And if it triggers my PTSD, I got no control. I go black out. I don't have no fucking control. So, we'll see what happens. Don't dare harm one of those in front of me. Don't dare harm one of those in front of me. I'll do time. I don't give a fuck. I'll hurt a person for fucking hurting a kid if I catch him. Plain and simple. So that fucked up my counseling job. They said, you got any biases? Yeah, sex offenders. Fucking don't put them in my... Well, maybe you should try doing something else for a profession. Okay.
Drive a big old fucking truck.
Yeah. So now I drive a 105,000-pound truck down the highway, and so when I'm in the truck, all by myself, and guess who I get to talk to? Here's a grateful thing that I'm grateful for. Most people on the freeway don't look up at truckers. Thank you. Because, woo, the things man, left alone, an addict alone is in bad company. I hold complete conversations like there's a fucking movie going on in my truck. Oh my God! The guy's fucking beating off on the freeway. Hey! Stupid! Fucking trying to drive here. And I talk. I talk when I drive. You know, I do. But here's what's saved my skin. There's another message. And it's a resentment because it was stolen and put on shirts and hats, and now there's a website and all this fucking shit. But for the record, I'm just gonna say, do you know the No Matter What Club? Fucking soft bitches took my word out. They stole that from me. Stole it. Because I was making shirts and doing all kinds of shit, no matter fucking what. And they didn't like the fuck word. And I didn't get a patent on it. And I didn't put my name on it. And I sent some shit to California, and they took it. Now they're making a shit ton of money. Am I resentful? Fuck yeah, I am. Because if you didn't think about it, don't fucking steal it. If you mention the word K-Fuck Radio, it's mine, you stole it. You might have permission to use it, but it's mine. Came out of my broken brain, not yours. Call it whatever the fuck you want, but mine is K-Fuck Radio. Because when that committee plays, it's really loud. And sometimes I don't know how to turn the channel. Sometimes I don't know how to fucking unplug it. And sometimes the only thing I can do is go, don't kill him. Just breathe. Just breathe. It'll pass. So, here I am clean and sober, and I accumulated a bunch of shit because now I do what productive members of society do. I pay taxes, and I get up every day, and I've gotten up every day, and I'm able to get up and go to work, which is not what I used to do. When I thought about getting up and going to work, it's like, okay, let's go fucking hustle. You know? And I don't mean like go hustle. It's like, let's go steal. Let's go get money without anybody knowing. Today I actually get up and I earn my money, and I feel it every day. And I pay my taxes. And since I've been clean, I accumulated a whole bunch of shit. Like recently, I sold my house. I sold my house. Now people are like, ugh, you've been living in the house for 14 years. Why are you fucking selling your house? Well, it's because I'm at the point in my life where it's like, I don't want to live in a project house. I don't really want to have a bunch of project cars. And I had a lot of project cars. I don't really want a project. And I want to simplify my life. I don't want to owe nobody nothing. So I sold my house because I don't want to owe nobody nothing. And I want to just focus on getting my own house in order. Now, little 5 years, I think it's 5 years, I joined this club. And it was at a point in my life where it's like, you know what? I had the fuck-its. And I don't like any of you motherfuckers once again. And I said, I need to find somebody who's going to fucking... I need to find somebody I could trust. Somebody I can talk to and say anything I fucking need to say, and they're not going to judge me. And they're not going to reach in my back pocket. And they're not going to want this. They're not going to want that. And blah, 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 blah. I needed somebody that just wanted my presence. And I found that. And it's actually, at the point in my time, saved my soul. Most people in recovery, they don't get that. There's certain things that I do that don't make any sense to anybody else. That make perfect sense to me and save my soul. You know, and there are very few tangible things that I want in this life. And this working and staying clean and doing what I want to do, parked outside is one of them. Always wanted that. But did I ever think I could accumulate that? Fuck no. I was always the guy who's on this crotch rocket or that broken down Yamaha or your motorcycle or, you know what I mean? That's a bonus to my staying clean. And because I sold this house, we'll see if it's God's will. Ever since I was 9 years old, there's one object I wanted, and it's in the grips of my fucking hands, Brady. I can fucking taste it. Like, that's all I want. Two things. I'll give it all up. You know? And most people don't understand that. But when you wanted something for so long, and it's in your grip of your hands, if you say no, I would regret not doing what I want to do that. I would regret it. And that's one thing I don't want to do. I don't want to get up in the morning, live my life, and go to sleep and regret not doing. You know? People say we only live once. That's not true. We're born once. Our final flatline is once. But we can live all fucking day, every day. And I got tired of being suffocated. I want to fucking live. Like, I want my skin to fit right. And I want to just live. So I had to simplify my life a little bit. You know? Some people think I sold my house because they think I'm going to run. No. It's tying me down. Like fucking Icarus. Like they did to Icarus. Fucking tie me down because I got too close to the sun, you know what I mean? I don't know if you get that, but I do. It works perfectly fine in my world. And if you don't believe in God, let me show you something. If you don't believe in God, this stuff is the closest you can get to touching God on this fucking earth. Anything else? Mm-mm. That's priceless. Priceless. You're God.
Oh shit, he says. He's like, what the fuck?
You know why I say that? That's perfect. We haven't fucked it up yet. Right? So if you want to get close to God, pick a kid. Just look at him. Tell me if that ain't fucking perfect. You know? Me looking in the mirror? Oh, hell no. Not that fucking guy. That's far away from God, bro. Anyways, if you want to stay clean, you can stay clean. If you want to be different and change and be a better person, I try to be a better person than I was before. I fucking make a lot of mistakes. I don't know how to do this. This is, like I said, this is abnormal way. I don't know how to do this clean and sober thing. But I get up every morning and I check my pulse and I try. And that's all I need to do is just try. Am I going to make mistakes? Fuck yeah. Am I going to fall down? Yeah. And if 23 years clean, do this for me. If you're in this room, please do this for me. Don't put me on a fucking pedestal. Because I am no fucking guru. I'm just as close to anybody else as getting loaded. I'm just as close as not knowing how to fucking live today. Like, hey, I need some help. Oh, you know how to do this. You've worked steps. You've been around for... No, I don't, motherfuckers. Don't do that. Don't do that. I've watched a lot of my friends with a lot of time go out there, and some of them not even get loaded. They just blew their fucking brains out. I don't want to be that. Why? Because I'm no different than the brand new dude walking in the room. And, I don't know. So I'm trying to just be better. I'm trying to just have my skin fit and not try to be perfect and have flaws. And if anything, if I'm not a positive message, I'll be a negative message, whatever works. You know what I mean? Because ain't nobody in here got this fucking thing cornered. This ain't nobody got this. Just remember, smart people who got this don't usually stay around the rooms, and people who stay humble and go, look at them get it, usually stay clean. And I've seen it. 23 years of watching the people come in and out of the room. And if you go in and you go out, and you go in and you go out, and you go in and you go out, that's what addicts do. I'm surprised they got loaded. No, I'm not. That's what addicts do. I'm surprised they stayed clean. Because that's abnormal for addicts like us. It's abnormal. Like, what the fuck, you stayed clean? And they can stay clean through anything. They say in the book, they list all this stuff. Death, joblessness, homelessness, pennilessness, blah, 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 blah. I stayed clean through a lot of that stuff. I buried both my parents. I buried my cousin. Picked her fucking brains out of the carpet. For God's sake. You know? Watched my kids grow up. Got married in the program. Got divorced in the program. Got violated. Watched my friends die on the way to the hospital. Watched a friend of mine hang himself. Another friend of mine blew his fucking brains out with a shotgun. Clean. Clean. That says a lot. Can't blame it on the drugs. So the disease really has nothing to do with substance. I don't know if you got anything out of any of that, but because a lot of times what happens is I got this shit playing in my head, and most of the time, 80% of the time, my brain is totally crap saturated, and sometimes the best thing I can do is just be quiet. And but I have these brothers who have done things like, hey, let's go to this meeting up in Portland. Yeah, we're gonna go to this meeting. Oh, by the way, we get there. Here's Sharon. Beep, beep, beep. Yeah, that's a fucking dump truck. You know? I showed up at the meeting the other day. Oh, the speaker didn't show up. You're Sharon. Beep, beep, beep. Now Mike went about it the right way. Mike says, hey, will you share your story prior to me 5 minutes before the meeting? And I was told a long time ago, if somebody asks you to share your story, you can't say no. And here's the thing, when you share your story, just remember, it's your fucking story. It's your story. Just tell the truth. That's the spiritual principle of the first step. Honesty. Be honest in all your affairs. Even if it's fucked up. Just be honest. Like, if somebody asks you a question, you either say, okay, no, or I don't know. I have no clue. I'm just fucking floating along. This is God's world. I'm just trying to survive this shit. And anyways, it's hot as hell in here. And it's hot as hell in here. Anyways, you know, I don't know what I'm going to say when I'm sharing. It's just, if I practice what I'm going to say before I share, it's fake. It's fake. Oh, it's scripted. I practiced that. Oh, yeah, I practiced all goddamn day. Studied it, yeah. I don't want to do that. I want to pray before the meeting. I want to come in and I want to open my mouth and let whatever come out. Because that's real. That's pure. And so if you got anything out of what I shared, you know, I can honestly tell you, no matter fucking what, I refuse to get loaded. I refuse. and ain't nobody in the room can make me except for me, and that's by choice. And anything that I tell you, oh, I got loaded because of this, it's a fucking bullshit excuse. You got loaded because you're an addict and you chose to get loaded. That's it. That's it. It's that simple. And I don't fucking want to get. Fuck it. I refuse. And when I was out there, I never really seen anybody hold me down and stick a needle in my neck. You know, I don't do that. It never happened. Like, you know, it never happened. And so, I don't even know.
He's like,
Can I be done? She says yes. Okay.